Hello, friend. You're welcome to Love Talk with Pastor Charles. Well, let's hold on a little bit. Before I introduce you to Love Talk with Pastor Charles, let me welcome you to the Love Talk channel. That's where you are right now. What is the Love Talk channel? The Love Talk channel is a one-stop shop for everything intimate relationship. From dating to courtship to marriage to parenting, husband and wife relationship. Flip backwards a little bit. Also to single and searching. We address everything that has to do with love relationships. Even the widows, the widowers, single parents, there's something for you in this shop. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Love Talk channel. Now, you are listening to Love Talk with Pastor Charles, one of the programs you're going to be seeing on the Love Talk channel. Today, I want to deal with why marriage is delayed. So I'm talking to singles today. Singles are just so blessed. I'm beginning this channel with something for you. So we're talking about why marriage is delayed in the Love Talk with Pastor Charles first episode. Okay, so like I said, today we're talking about something many people don't say out loud, which is delay in marriages. Why does marriage delay for some people? I want to marry, but somehow it's not working out for me. Let's be honest. Let's talk truth to ourselves. Delay can be very frustrating, it can be confusing, and even painful. But it is important to understand this, that delay is not always denial. I'm sure you've heard that before, maybe from your pastor, that delay is not denial. Sometimes delay is, our our fault, and sometimes it's not our fault. And there are some real reasons behind delay, and there are things that you can do to cut the time short, the time of waiting before you get married. The first thing is that, do you really want to marry? Because some people don't want to marry, and they're just taking everybody along on this roller coaster. Okay, I want to marry, but it's not working out. But meanwhile, you are not really ready for marriage. You don't want to marry. So why don't you just come out plain, I don't want to marry, or I'm not ready for marriage? Because sometimes you are just a problem. You don't want to marry, or you're not ready for marriage, even though you're 40, you're not ready for marriage. So just tell yourself the truth. I am not ready for marriage, or I don't want to marry. And then those who are counseling you, your friends, your parents, your pastor, your counselor, would now know how to deal with whatever is making you want to marry. So the first point in solving the problem of delay in marital connection is be honest with yourself. Why are you not married? There's always a reason, and sometimes you are the reason. In courtship, when people come to me for courtship, and then somebody is maybe 40 and not married, and the other person is maybe younger and not married, I always ask, why are you not married at 40? What is the reason? There's always a reason. It's not normal for you not to marry at 40. Either you didn't want to marry, or you've been trying to make some money, or there's something spiritual behind it, or you've been involved in a relationship that did not work out. There's always a reason for why marriage delays. And the first point of call is yourself. Why are you not married? Once you can locate that reason, then the solution is very simple. We can proceed from there. Okay, having said that, let me move on to the first point that really tickles me at this time. It is number one, long and unproductive courtship. If you are in a relationship for 7 years, and then you are not wedding, two of you are just playing games with yourself, what happens to when one party says, I'm not doing it again? Some women have found themselves hanging because they've been involved in a relationship that was not going anywhere. So I want to talk to the women particularly, because usually they are victims of this kind of relationship. A man says, I want to marry you, and after 1 year, he's not saying, okay, let's go meet your parents. There's something wrong. There's a time, every woman must have a cutoff point. Even men have a cutoff point to how long you want the talking stage to last, and how long you want the dating stage to last. And don't just let the relationship go on and on and on and on and on without, defined bus stops. There must be bus stops. Okay, in the next 3 months, we're going to meet my parents. Next 3 months, we're going to do this. Next we're going to print card. We're going to, let there be time elements to your relationship. And if you find out that your partner is not on the same page with you concerning your time frame, concerning your time plan, then you better call it quits. What am I saying? Don't be involved in a long and winding relationship. There must be clear bus stops, there must be clear action plans, and there must be clear time frames to the things you want to do together as you approach your goal of wedding. Let there be a goal, a clear goal, and that is the wedding. So ask your man, Oga, what are we doing in this relationship? Once you are over 1 year, that relationship, ask questions. Sometimes a man tells you, oh, let's be friends first. For how long will you be friends? Once you are of marriageable age, and then you are in this relationship, you cannot afford to be in a purposeless relationship. Don't be a handbag to any man. And dear man, don't be an escort to any woman. Once you are 25, 26, 27, then any relationship that you are into with the opposite gender has to be for marriage. There's no place for boyfriend and for girlfriendship, especially if you are a Christian. So don't be involved in purposeless relationship. I know a girl who was in a relationship for 7 years, and then the man dumped her, and then after that, she remained on the shelf for a long time. Thank God she's married today. So don't make that mistake. So long, unproductive courtship is one of the reasons why some people remain on the shelf, because when that one breaks, you're no more what you were 7 years ago. You are older as a woman, and then you have to start afresh, and that is always not very pleasant. So that's number one reason why marriages delay. I'll be very fast. I'll give you like 5. So let me give you number 2. Sometimes we are over selective when your standards are too high or weird. You want everything complete in the woman, you want everything complete in the man. You see, my dear friend, you cannot have everything in one bag. You got to manage some things. Some things would be 100%, some things would be 50%, and some qualities would be 20%. Just choose what's your priority. Maybe godliness is your priority. Then take it. And once you find that, and you find the other things, in measurable and manageable, and some the other elements of your desire in a partner, they are there in measures that you are okay with, you can cope with. It's fine. Just set your priorities. What do you want in a man? What do you want in a woman? If it is money, or doesn't advise that money should be your first port of call. Maybe godliness, maybe good character. Don't even say, for women, don't even say, oh, he's caring. Every man is caring. Once a man wants to marry a woman, he becomes caring. He puts on the caring cap. He buys you things, buys you phone, gives you data, takes you out, maybe whatever, buys you something you like, Only a stupid man will not care for a girl that he wants to marry. So don't put care, don't say he is caring. And put that behind you first and look for real sound values. When I was looking for a wife, I looked for a pastor's wife. I tell the story where I go to. So what are the most important things you want in a person that you want to be your wife? Once you get it, then the others can be managed. You can build other things as you grow in love and as you marry yourself. So don't be over selective. Nobody is ever 100% good enough. The issue may not be the people, the issue may be, your perception. All right. So number 3. This is a tough one, but some people are not married because of personal hygiene. Oh, they have halitosis, maybe the mouth smells. Oh, sorry, but as a fact, let's be real. And some men just have poor hygiene, or even a woman, maybe he has body odor. These are things you can treat. These are things. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, marriage is not, first of all, a spiritual thing. Marriage is a physical thing. Spirits don't marry. When you are married somebody, a physical human being. That's who you are marrying. So there must be, apart from spiritual guidance, then you must like the person you are marrying. The person must appeal to you physically, must be attractive to you physically, must, tickle you erotically. I'm not saying go sleep with the person. I'm just saying but it's somebody that you would love to make love to when you marry, not before marriage. There must be that physical attraction, because love is three levels. There is spiritual, there is the soul level, somebody that you can talk with, you can, discuss economics, politics, or whatever interests you with, somebody with, good intellect. It's also important in marriage. Also, the physical is also very important in marriage. Don't take it lightly, don't joke with it. I tell myself, before I got married, I told myself I cannot marry somebody with mouth odor. I can't. I just can't. How do I kiss her? I'm being real with you. So take care of your hygiene. Why don't you just ask yourself, why do women don't want to date me? Before you blame spirits, you know, ask questions. Look inward. Ask your friends. Ask a woman who can be honest with you. Say, hello, sister. Please tell me what's wrong with me. Ladies are not as it would be hard for you to do to ask a brother or a man, what didn't you like about me? That can be tough. But ask questions. Find out why men don't like you. Find out why men come close to you and they run away. Okay, so sometimes personal hygiene or physical look, just be your dressing. Some women are bad dressers and some men too are terrible dressers. Okay, so work on yourself and you'll be good. I'm being real with you. I've been in this business for quite a while, and so I'm giving you practicals. All right. Number 4, wrong views about marriage. Some girls have been loaded with feminist kind of mentality. They've listened to all kinds of senior girls who don't like men. And so they have some weird conception and perception about marriage is, African marriage is slavery. A woman have to serve a man. Who told you? And so they come into the marriage discussion being combative and hostile, against marriage. But many a times, what these you women who have feminist views think about marriage is not what it is. Marriage is first of all love between two people who are just helping each other to survive. Sometimes the rules are not really, the lines are not really very solid. Okay, flow this way, flow that. For example, when I got married, I was the nanny in the house. My wife walked outside while I was doing things around, and I was the one, caring for my young babies. So the lines are not that solid. It's not really what you think it is. It's not slavery. Even if it is slavery, it is love slavery. Things you do because you love your partner. So wrong views can keep a person from marriage because you've been listening to the wrong people. Maybe your parents' marriage did not work. Who told you your marriage will be like that of your parents? So wrong views about marriage could be the reason why some people are not married. And other people like that who have listened to too many bad things about marriage, and so they don't feel like married. They want to marry, but that mindset, that mental block is keeping them. Work on it. Marriage is not what you think. Marriage is sweet, it's better than what you think, and marriage is very helpful. Marriage is not a prison, it's not a burden, and it's not something to fear. All right. So the last one, I have many things to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you everything in one batch because I want you to come again and listen to Love Talk with Pastor Charles. So I'm going to do part 2 of this. But let me give you the last one, which is God's timing and plan. Not every delay is a problem. You see, if you're a child of God, then God is in control of your life. I remember when I left school and I came to the point I wanted to marry. I was outside Lagos. That day I live in Lagos right now. My wife was in Lagos, so until I came to Lagos, I couldn't have met her. So when I kept looking for somebody with certain parameters. Okay. And in my dream one day, God showed me a young lady with the parameters that I had in mind. And I didn't see the face, but I saw every other thing in the physical, we tallied with who my wife is today. But you see, that girl couldn't have come to me because I prayed for a pastor's wife with certain qualities and values. But that person was in Lagos, so I couldn't have met her until I came to Lagos. So sometimes God's direction and God's timing means that you have to wait a little bit to get the best. Maybe that's just your problem. You need to wait a little bit more, and what God has in store for you will come to pass. Don't forget that God makes all things beautiful in His time. It takes time to bake, put the dough in the oven, and then give it time, and it will come out, brown and nice, smelling sweet. More so if everything is inside butter. sugar and everything is inside. So sometimes God wants to just bake your life and make your life very sweet, make your life very sweet. So be patient. That person you're looking for is going to come your way. Today might just be the day, or tomorrow might be the day, or next month might be the day. Once you have put your life in God's hands, honestly, you don't have anything to worry about. It will work out for you. God will make everything drop in your laps very beautifully at the right time. Make sure you are praying. Make sure you are sitting the face of God. And make sure that you are ready for the person that God is bringing your way. Wow. Don't. I'm so glad you listened to me today. Make sure that you don't miss part 2 of this topic. Why marriages delay. Again, my name is Charles Ifkovasi. In the comment section, drop your question and I will respond. But you may want to also reach me, for counseling or for a word of advice. Don't worry. I'm not afraid of dropping my number. You can reach me on 0811 777 Send me a WhatsApp message. Don't call because nobody will pick. But when you send that message, we will respond to you and we can take this conversation down straight to your home. God bless you. I'll see you again.